How long should a prayer be? How many words must rise before heaven hears? And what is prayer? Prayer. Prayer is not about many words. It is a calling upon the Lord, a heart turning toward Him, a soul lifted into His presence, a trust resting in His name.
The Lord is near unto all them that call upon Him, to all that call upon Him in truth.
Psalm 145:18. Prayer does not need to be long. It does not need many words. In the book of 1 Samuel, we read of Hannah. Hannah spoke in her heart. Her lips moved, but her voice was not heard. Yet the Lord remembered her, and in remembering her, He answered the prayer she had poured out before Him. In the book of Jeremiah, it is written,
Call unto me, and I will answer thee.
Jeremiah 33:3. A single line, yet it reveals what the Lord asks of us. And in the Psalms,
Call upon me in the day of trouble. I will deliver thee.
Psalm 50:15. Call upon Him in the day of trouble. These are not merely verses. They reveal the heart of the living God, a Father ready to hear when His children call. And in the book of Genesis, this truth is not explained in many words. It is shown. Let us step back into the Scripture and look again at the account of Hagar and her son. Hagar. Hagar was the servant in the household of Abraham. Through her, Abraham had a son, Ishmael. Abraham was 86 years old when Ishmael was born, and by the time of this account, the child had grown. He was no longer a small boy, but a lad, perhaps 16 or 17 years of age. One morning, Abraham rose early. He took bread and a bottle of water and placed it upon Hagar's shoulder and sent her away with the child. Abraham did this according to the word of the Lord, after Sarah had asked that Hagar and her son be sent away. Hagar departed from the shelter she had known and wandered into the wilderness of Beersheba, a barren land on the edge of the Negev, dry and harsh even today. Scripture does not count the days. It does not measure the distance. It simply says she wandered in the wilderness, and the water in the bottle was spent. What they carried with them came to an end. The desert was not merciful. They were tired and hungry, and their strength was fading. When the water was gone, she placed the child beneath one of the shrubs, the only shade the wilderness offered. Then Hagar walked away and sat down a little distance off, as far as a bow shot. For she said,
Let me not see the death of the child.
These were not merely words. They came from a sorrow deeper than she could bear. There were no words left in her, only tears. And she lifted up her voice and wept.
Lord, hear my voice. Do not let us perish in this wasteland. Have mercy on my child.
Then the Scripture speaks. And God heard the voice of the lad. Genesis 21:17. There was no prayer before an altar. There was no priest standing between heaven and earth. It was a cry from the heart of a boy. No long words, only pain and silence. Yet the voice of the boy was heard by the living God. And the angel of God called to Hagar out of heaven and said,
What aileth thee, Hagar? Fear not, for God hath heard the voice of the lad where he is. Arise, lift up the lad, and hold him in thine hand, for I will make him a great nation.
And God opened her eyes for a miracle, and she saw a well of water. She went, filled the bottle, and gave the lad drink.
The righteous cry, and the Lord heareth.
Psalm 34:17. Prayer is not measured by its length. It is the heart poured out before Him. The Lord is near unto all who call upon Him in truth. As it was in the wilderness of Beersheba, so it remains. He hears. Seek Him with all your heart. Pour out your heart before God. For this is what the Lord has always desired, a simple, humble prayer from the bottom of your heart, a quiet cry rising from the soul to the steps of heaven. And the God who heard the voice of the lad in the wilderness still hears today. He hears.